Welcome. In this video I am going to demonstrate how to use the Ruffle style yarn in one of the knittingboard.com knitting looms. This one that I'm using is going to be the sock 2. Let's get started. So for this project I am going to be using the first 6 pegs. So I'm going to put a stitch marker on the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and the 6th. So 2 stitch markers, one on the first peg and one on the 6th peg. I am going to be using the yarn over here. I'm going to find the first hole that I'm going to use. I'm going to place that first hole on that first peg, and then I am going to be skipping a few of the holes because these are the tiny holes. I am going to skip 2 of them. So there's 1, 2. I'm going to go to the third one and place it on the second peg. I'm going to skip 2. There's 1, 2. I'm going to grab the third one and place it on the third peg. I'm going to skip 1, 2. Go to the third. Place it on the fourth peg. Now I'm going to skip 2 one more time. There's 1, there's 2. Third. Place it on the fifth peg. 1, 2. Third, place it on the 6th peg. Right now I have 6 loops on the knitting loom. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now I am ready to put a second row on these pegs. Again, I'm going to skip 2 of the top loops. There's 1, there's 2. I grab the third one. I'll place it on the 6th peg. I'm gonna skip 2. There's 1, 2. Skipping that one and grabbing the third and placing it on the next peg. I'm gonna skip 2. There's 1, 2. I'll grab the third loop, place it on the peg. Skipping 2, 1, 2. Grabbing the third one, placing it on the third peg. Skipping 2, 1, 2. Placing that third one there. Skipping 2, 1, 2. Grabbing that third one and placing it on the peg. Right now I should have, oh, that last one popped out. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Right now my knitting loom should have 2 loops on each peg, and it does. Once it has that, you are ready to knit by lifting the bottom loop over the top, 1 on each of those pegs. Perfect. Your first row is knitted. Your knitting is coming out through the bottom. Perfect. Now this is where it gets a little bit different than all our other knits. We are going to be moving all these stitches over to the opposite side. Again, we're going to be using the first 6 pegs. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So grab that last one and place it on the 6th peg on the opposite side of the rail. 5th one, place it on the 5th, 4th, 5th, 3rd, on that 3rd peg, the 2nd, over on the 2nd peg, and the 1st over on the 1st peg. Great job. Now turn your board around. Perfect. And now we're going to repeat the same process that we did before of placing those loops on the pegs. We're gonna skip the first 2, 1, 2, grab the third, there's the third, place it on the first peg, skip 2, 1, 2, grab the third one and place it on the second peg, skip 2, 1, 2, grab the third and place it on the next peg, 1, 2, grab the third one, perfect, 1, 2, third one, 1, 2, third, 1, 2, that's it. And see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, we don't need that last one. That's too many. One too many. Okay, now that we have 2 loops on each peg, 1, 2, we're gonna lift the bottom one, thus knitting each of the pegs. Perfect. Just like that, we have completed row number 2. And now we're gonna move these stitches from this side over to the other side like they were originally. And we repeat the same process over and over, moving them from one side to the other. Now you may be asking yourself, why are we moving them from one side to the other? The reason being that we want the ruffles to go all around the scarf on both sides. If we were to stay and work only on one side, the ruffles will appear only on one side of the item and not on both sides. And since we want a scarf, we kind of want the ruffles to appear on both sides so that the scarf is reversible. Okay, now that we have the stitches on that one side, we are ready to do this again. Now that we're on this side, we are ready to do it all over again. Skipping 2, 1, 2, grab the third one, place it on the last peg. Skipping 2, 1, 2, grab the third, place it on that peg. Skip 2, 1, 2, grab the third, place it on the third peg. Skipping 2, 1, 2, grab the third loop, place it there. 1, 2, grab the third, and then for our last one, skip 2, grab the third, perfect. And then, oh, right here we lost that one. And there we go. Each peg should have 2 loops, so make sure that you have those 2 loops. Perfect. Once you ensure that, lift over the bottom one over the top. And our next row is done. Pull the knitting from the bottom and you can see how you have ruffles on one side as well as on the other side. So continue in this method, putting the stitches from one side of the loom to the other side as I have demonstrated until your item reaches the desired length. And then I will show you how to remove it off the knitting loom. So here I am. I have done a few rows and I have this length on my scarf. As you can see, it has ruffles on one side and ruffles on the other side. It is not long enough to be a scarf. However, I want to show you how to bind off. We are going to bind it off, and I am going to show you the way I like to bind this off. So I bring the second over to the first, lift over that one, Then I'm going to bring over this one to this empty peg. I'm gonna bring that loop over here, doing the basic bind up method. Moving it over. Next one. Lift it over. Moving this one over. Finding the next loop or so. There you are. Putting it on top. Knitting over. This one to the lift it up. Moving this to the empty peg. Finding that third one. Putting it over. And over. Good job. Here. Moving this one over. Finding that third one. Perfect. Lift it over here. Now we only have one loop on the peg. Through that loop, I'm gonna take it off. Hold on to that loop. Do not let go of it. Here I have it right here. With that crochet hook or just with your fingers, pass it through that loop. Hook on the rest of the yarn through, pass it through. There we go. Now over here, I like to make a knot. Now you can, this leftover edge, you can pass it through some of the holes on your scarf. Just as a weaving in the ends kind of thing, just like that. I like to pass it off through about 4 or 5 of the holes. Perfect. And then I just clip it and I open it up. And here we go. There it is. How to use the Ruffle style yarn on one of the knittingboard.com knitting looms. Again, I used the sock loom 2 for my sample. You can also use the all-in-one knitting loom. They are both the same configuration, as you can see. So you can use either one of those knitting looms to create this scarf.